good.
This song kind of sounds like if aliens had to guess what human music sounds like. Hey everyone, it's Sassy Girl Cheese here, and today we're watching the infamous Camp Rock. Now, I haven't seen this movie since it came out in 2009. This movie did not age very well. In fact, I don't think it was ever actually good. But yeah, there's a lot to dig into. I kind of had to shorten my script a little bit because I wanted to say something every 5 seconds, but we're just gonna get into it. So the movie starts off with Demi Lovato playing Mitchie, and she's getting ready for her last day of school. Mitchie's like running around a room doing a bunch of random things. She starts playing around with her hair but doesn't change it. There's even a point where she puts on the same clothes twice and then wears something different anyways. There's a point where she's trying on some glasses and then doesn't wear any glasses. She's like playing the keyboard but isn't really playing it. She starts playing the guitar but isn't really playing the guitar. So Mitchie's eating breakfast with mom. I guess she still had time to eat breakfast after doing all of that. They're watching a news story about Shane Gray, who is played by Joe Jonas. And I guess Shane Gray is like this baddie. He's costed his label thousands of dollars, and his other bandmates, who are also the Jonas Brothers, are not happy with him. So much so that they canceled their summer tour. Shane is like the black sheep. He's like edgy and misunderstood. So
what is wrong with that boy? He's got everything
Except a clue.
Except a clue. Such a dumb lie. So they turn off the TV. Mom talks about how she found a brochure just kind of hiding in her belongings. I guess Mitchie planted it there, but it's a brochure for this place called Camp Rock. The Camp Rock. And Camp Rock is a place where teenagers can go and learn how to be a pop star. Mitchie's been hinting to her mom for a while now that she wants to go. She's even buttering her up right here, saying that her omelet is really good, even though she hasn't had any of it.
Oh, and great cheese omelet, by the way. You should definitely add that to your catering menu.
But ultimately, mom said that it's just too expensive. I mean, we got the 2008 recession going on right now. So Mitchie, her response to this is to just get up and leave. She doesn't even touch her breakfast that her mom made her. Like, not a bite. Come on, Mitchie. So then we cut to Demi at school where she's throwing away all of her Camp Rock stuff because she like knows she's not gonna go now. And we meet Sierra, who is supposedly Mitchie's bestie. And I say supposedly because we never see Sierra again after this. She just speaks Chinese, and then there's no mention of her at all.
Let me be the first to say Jinjaji Mitchie. It means happy summer, Mitchie. Guess who got an A+ in AP Mandarin? Me.
So Mitchie comes home with a sour attitude because she's not going to Camp Rock, and mom and dad are outside grilling for dinner, and Mitchie's like, sorry, I don't want any dinner. But then mom and dad surprise her with a ticket to Camp Rock. I guess mom's catering company made some kind of deal with Camp Rock people, saying that she'll be the cook there if she can get a discounted rate to the camp for her daughter. Mom is really sticking her neck out for Mitchie, okay? I just need you to remember what her mom did. I also need you all to remember that there's only one condition to this deal, and that's that Mitchie has to help her mom out in the kitchen, okay? Remember that. Camp Rock looks really overstimulating. You got like all these teenagers running around. You got this guy drumming on everything. We got this guy who's like a contortionist or something, and he's just dancing in front of the limo driver. Mom and Mitchie come rolling up in mom's catering van when Mitchie notices meanie Tess coming out of the limo. She's got like the wind blowing in her hair and everything. Mitchie's super impressed, like really impressed. So they get to their cabin, the camp director comes to introduce himself to them, and Mitchie just leaves. She doesn't say anything, she doesn't say goodbye, she doesn't say thank you, mom. He's kind of giving some flirty vibes to mom a little bit. He's trying to like impress her by saying that he worked with Aerosmith and all these people. I don't know, guys, did you get flirty vibes from this guy? Because I did.
Oh, you gotta brag, love. Learned that from the mixer, Jagger.
You knew Mick Jagger.
Yeah, backed him up for years. Great times. Great.
We got this guy again drumming on everybody's luggage. Can you just get away from my luggage, please? We rock! So all the teens gather around to learn about the camp's festivities and what's gonna be going on, and Mitchie, she accidentally runs into Tess while being infatuated by Camp Rock. Tess is already a total asshole. Mitchie, she meets Caitlin, who's played by Allison Stoner. Caitlin is a music producer. She tells her to check her out.
Hi, I'm Caitlin. Camper today, top-selling music producer tomorrow. Check me out. Cool.
Oh, God. Damn it. I hurt my elbow. Anyways, Caitlin basically tells Mitchie that Tess is a daughter of a famous Grammy artist, TJ Tyler. Tess is a Nepo baby. That's why she's rude. The music director announces that they've started Camp Rock, that's officially started. Two guys jump up on the stage. They are very Disney hip hop.
I know what, yeah. stand to be the winners on stage at Final Jam. Holla, holla, put your hands up. Hey, hey.
This lady's talking about how during this camp they're gonna be finding who they are inside and finding their style as rock stars, but pop stars, let's be real. Well, you remember Shane Gray, played by Joe Jonas, the baddie? Well, since he's been such a bad boy, his punishment is now to be a camp counselor at Camp Rock. But just a little backstory, like Connect 3, the Jonas Brothers, they met up at Camp Rock, and now they're like these big stars. So anything can happen at Camp Rock, you know what I mean? Like, who's next? Nick and Kevin are there in the limo. I don't know what their names are in the film, but they do like this little banter thing between the two of them every now and then. They're kind of like the Hardy Boys in this movie. Nick is the smart one, and Kevin is kind of like the ditzy, stupid one. He always makes like fun little jokes.
Fresh air. Get a tan. Oh, and can you make me a birdhouse or something? One word. Payback. That's 2 words.
The hair. I can't get past the hair. Why did we do that? But Nick is talking about how this is going to be good for Shane because it's going to somehow remove the bad boy image if he's a camp counselor at this camp. I don't know how that makes sense, but Shane is like, oh, okay. Oh, and the camp director is Shane's uncle, but he's from Australia, whatever. Mitchie and Mom are in the kitchen making burger patties, and we learn that Mitchie is super shy and doesn't like to sing in front of people. And you know, if I was Mitchie's mom, I'd be like, you better sing in front of people. I got you into this camp and you're not gonna sing in front of people? No. So Mitchie's taking out the trash when she notices Tess and these girls rehearsing some song. They're rehearsing the same verse over and over again for some reason.
But I'm sorry you're not exactly who you think you are. Can tell you what you haven't got, but when we want.
But Tess is being really mean and bossy about it. She's super micromanaging in this movie about everything.
Work with me here, people. Hello, we're trying.
This girl in the pink has had it with her bullshit. I think her name's Peggy. We don't really find out until later in the movie, but she's pretty significant in the movie. Kinda. We then get to Mitchie finishing setting the table for her mom when she notices everyone's gone. Again, she's shy. She doesn't like singing in front of people. She starts singing on the piano. She sings one of her original songs. Shane calls his bandmates saying he's like ready to leave. He's being a really bad sport about being at the camp. When all these girls start chasing him, he's like a big celebrity. Shane hides in the bushes when he notices Mitchie singing. He's floored by Mitchie's amazing voice. And come on, she was 15. She has an amazing voice.
I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be now. Gonna let the light.
He goes in to find out who it is, but Mitchie's already gone. And this is gonna drive him nuts, you guys. Shane has to find out who this girl is. Mitchie meets up with Caitlin and this girl named Lola at the opening night jam, which is one of many variety shows. There's a lot of variety shows in this movie, but it's an open mic night. That's what we were talking about before. That's why she didn't want to sing in front of people. Her mom was like, do you want to sing at open mic night? And Mitchie's like, no, I'm shy. Lola, who we just met, she does this really sassy number. Disney loves to do like hip dance. We do a lot of hip movements in this movie. So Meanie Tess and her minions come up to talk to Mitchie and Caitlin, and Mitchie like really wants to be friends with Tess because she's like popular or whatever. So Mitchie talks about how she loves Tess's mom, that she listens to all of her music, and Tess is like, yeah, of course you do. My mom's amazing, whatever. And they ask Mitchie what her parents do. Mitchie's like, my dad owns a hardware store, and they are immediately unimpressed. They walk away when Mitchie decides to come up with this insane lie that her mom is the vice president of Hot Tunes TV in China. President or vice president, one of the two. Whatever, she's a BFD. So obviously all the girls are all lit up now that they think that Mitchie is this big important girl in the industry, that she can probably get him some connections or whatever to network. Mitchie is just piling on the lies. She's like, I've been in 3 music videos, but you can't really see me because I'm in the background. And the girls just believe her. They just have no doubt in their mind that she just couldn't be lying. So much so that Tess does this 180 and immediately wants to be friends with Mitchie. She's like, hey, you want to come sleep in our cabin? Mitchie's like super excited about that. And then she asks if she wants to hang with them in the VIP section. Mitchie just ditches Caitlin. She's just not important to her anymore. Mitchie goes to tell mom that she's gonna go sleep in the Mean Girls cabin. Mom is super supportive. She's like, go have fun, sweetie. Mitchie's like, I'm gonna be in the kitchen early. You don't have to worry about anything. We cut to the Mean Girls cabin. Tess is trying to call her mom, TJ Tyler, and mom kind of blows her off all the time. I guess this is why Tess is such a jerk, because she's ignored by her mother. This girl, Ella, is trying to be the Karen Smith of the movie, and it just kind of falls flat for me.
Which color?
Ella, they're exactly the same.
So you see my dilemma.
Mitchie comes into the cabin ready to move in with the girls, and Tess is like, you can take Peggy's bed, and everyone's just okay with that. I just don't understand why Mitchie wouldn't be like, oh, no, sorry, you can have that. She just immediately was okay taking someone else's bed, when obviously that was the wrong move to make. Goes to show you what kind of person Mitchie is. Mitchie continues to pile on the lies about her mom in China, and Tess shows Mitchie this bracelet that her mom gave her. I guess every charm represents a Grammy that she's won or something. The girls notice that Mitchie has a book titled Mitchie's Songs, and, you know, they ask her about it. They want her to sing her a song. Mitchie's shy, but, you know, she's eventually pressured to sing, and she's amazing, of course. Demi Lovato.
This is real. This is me. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to.
It's very clear that Tess is gonna be super jealous of Mitchie. This is me. I'm exactly where. Mitchie gets up early to go help mom in the kitchen, and all the kids start shuffling through, and Mitchie kind of like hides in the back, or she sneaks out the back and then goes through the front as if she wasn't just working in the kitchen, right? So this is gonna be like a regular thing. Mitchie's going to kind of hide the fact that she's working in the kitchen to maintain this lie that she's actually the daughter of this president of Hot Tunes TV. I don't know. Mitchie initially sits with Caitlin, but then Tess comes in. She's like, come sit with us. And Mitchie's like, okay, bye. She just ditches Caitlin again. And guys, I know that Tess is the mean girl in this film, but she's super micromanaging. It's a little concerning. She has to know where Mitchie is at every second of the day.
What happened to you this morning? Early riser? Yum, toast.
And you might be wondering, where's Shane? Where's Joe Jonas? Well, Joe Jonas, Shane, whatever, is sleeping in until Uncle Camp Director comes in and he like tries to get him up. He throws some plant water on him and stuff. Over at the camp's first class, everyone's dancing, having a good old time. Caitlin's doing this super sassy dance. We got this guy rocking the bongos. Uncle Camp Director comes in and asks who wants to sing first. Everybody raises their hand except for Mitchie because she's shy. And of course he picks her to sing. She gets up, she starts singing, and you know, everybody is floored with how amazing she sounds because it's Demi Lovato. She's amazing. Except for Tess, who is visibly jealous of Demi's voice, Mitchie's voice. I need to stop calling her Demi. So Mitchie and the girls are all walking back to the Mean Girls cabin when Tess starts pressuring Mitchie to join their group as Tess's backup singer for like one of the performances or something. Mitchie responds by saying that she thought about doing a solo for that performance, but Tess slaps back saying, oh, you're gonna do a solo for your first performance? At first, Mitchie's super indifferent, but then she decides it's more important to be popular than being her true self. This is real. This is me. So anyways, after that, Mitchie ends up showing late to help her mom in the kitchen. Mom is like already almost done with everything. This becomes a recurring thing in the movie where she just shows up late because she's hiding the fact that her mom works in the kitchen. So Mitchie's cleaning up the kitchen and everything until Shane walks in. She immediately is like, oh no, I gotta hide. No one can ever know that I work in here because then my secret will be out. So her first instinct is to cover her face in flour. Shane is immediately judgy about the fact that she's, you know, covered in flour, and he's like, oh, you must really get into your work or whatever. He's being kind of rude. He starts telling off Mitchie because someone messed up his food and he wants to speak to the manager. Mitchie starts telling him off and starts calling him a jerk, and Shane just kind of accepts it. He's like, oh, thank you. And he walks away. Over at hip hop class, Mitchie immediately runs over to the Mean Girls, and one of them is like, oh, what's in your hair? And it was flour, but Mitchie is like, oh, it's Chinese body powder. So Shane walks in and he abruptly just starts the class. He's like, grab a hat and a mic, just follow my lead if you can.
Grab a mic and a hat. Follow me if you can.
But he doesn't really teach the class. He just starts dancing and expects everyone to follow his lead, and everybody follows it very well. They pick up the choreography right away, you know, because it's Camp Rock. You're kind of held to that expectation. And if you don't, just leave. This number is just so hip hop, you know, like the hippity hop kind. Just look, they have hats. The drummer guy from earlier, he falls, and Tess is a total jerk about it.
Talk about dancing to the beat of a different drum.
Then at lunchtime, Mom goes to try to talk to Mitchie and all the mean girls, but Mitchie just pretends like she doesn't know her. And what gets me is that she never comments on this. Like, her mom never says anything about this. She just kind of accepts that her daughter is pretending like she doesn't know who she is. Maybe she didn't realize it at the time, but I don't know, that kind of bothered me. But then in the kitchen, Mom catches on a little bit that Mitchie would never hang out with these girls in her day-to-day life. Mitchie gets super defensive, and she's like, what, Mom? Do you hate that I'm not invisible anymore? I mean, it's just a little weird, okay? Sierra is nothing like Tess.
So we call this the campfire jam. Hit it!
But why? Tess and the girls start dancing. We get more hip movements like before. We also have these extra backup dancers, and this really confused me because we only saw Tess and the other two girls rehearsing. I don't know where these girls came from. If they were practicing earlier, or if she like paid for them to be there. I don't know. I have a lot of questions. This song is trying to be Sharpay Evans, but it's not very Sharpay Evans, if you know what I mean. And it also sounds like a demo, but not in a good way. Mitchie has like this sour attitude the entire performance. And I know that she doesn't want to be there. I know that she wants to be a soloist, but girl, if you're gonna get up on the stage and be a backup singer, you better show a little bit of this. While we were watching this, my husband was like, I'd throw her in the bonfire. But it's obvious that Mitchie's not a backup singer. She's the main character.
Can a guy get some peace?
His reaction to her just standing there is like really aggressive.
Sorry, sorry.
You said that already.
Sorry, Was that you playing?
Do you guys think she's sorry? Who else would be playing Mitchie? So Shane's entire demeanor changes when Mitchie says that she likes the music that he was playing. I guess it's like different from his usual stuff. Shane's talking about how the only reason he makes the music he typically does is because the label forces him to, because they want to put out what they think is gonna sell. At lunchtime, Tess assaults Caitlin with some spaghetti after she accidentally trips over Caitlin's foot. Caitlin throws back some spaghetti at her when the camp director comes up and tries to break it up. Tess blames it all on Caitlin, saying that she threw the spaghetti first or whatever. Mitchie, being the wonderful bystander she is, agrees with Tess, says that it was all Caitlin's fault. She says that she started it, even though she obviously didn't. Just adds to the list of amazing things about Mitchie, right? But as punishment to Caitlin for starting this food fight, she now has to work in the kitchen, you know, where Mitchie works. So we can all see how this is gonna play out, right? Like, her secret's gonna get out. We're 41 minutes into the movie and I still have no reason to like Mitchie.
Oh,
You hungry?
just a little bit.
Do you have a second?
So Shane asked Mitchie if he can get her opinion on a song that he wrote. He was inspired by a girl that he heard singing earlier, but he doesn't know who it was. I wonder what's gonna happen, guys. She doesn't realize it's actually her.
You're the voice I hear inside my head, the reason that I'm singing.
This is real, this is me. Mitchie shows up late to the kitchen again, but she's like weirdly nice. Her mom is already done with everything. Good job, Mitchie. But wait, Caitlin shows up, and we all know what's gonna happen now because Mitchie hasn't told Caitlin about any of this. So she's gonna be really surprised to find out that Mitchie was lying about this whole thing.
Didn't know Connie had a daughter. I'm Caitlin. Mitchie?
Once Caitlin finds out, she puts it all together. She's like, haha, you're really the cook's daughter. And I just really need to know why. Being the daughter of a small business owner is a sign of poverty.
What happened to you?
She got drowned in her lies.
Good one, Caitlin. During lunchtime, Tess is acting like a super clingy, micromanaging girlfriend. She's like asking where Mitchie's been this whole time. It's a little weird because she continues to do that through this entire movie.
The question is, what were you doing? You're always AWOL.
This girl, who I can't seem to remember her name, is all like, we should go visit your mom in China. And Mitch is all like, that would be so fun. And I just can't help but to think it would have been so much more easy if she just made up a lie about her dad instead. Her mom is literally in the other room, so how'd you think this was gonna go, Mitchie? So then we get to the pajama jam. I guess all the girls agreed to wear a specific outfit because it had Shane's favorite color in it, which is green. But Tess shows up in a completely different outfit because she's the lead singer and they're the backup singers.
Give it up for the awesome Caitlin Geller!
She's really good.
This song kind of sounds like if aliens had to guess what human music sounds like. Tess gets jealous of Caitlin because she's getting all this attention and she's not. She's like really weird. And she pretends like there's a snake in the cabin, freaking everybody out and obviously interrupting Caitlin's performance. But, you know, obviously it's not a snake, it's a like electric cable or something. So Tess is just being rude.
You are so full of it. Okay, what is that?
She said, whatever, major loser.
I think this would be an appropriate time to just laugh in her face. Mitchie ends up sticking up for Caitlin in a really weird way. She tells Tess that the phrase is so last year, but I don't know, you guys, it seemed to me when I watched this again, I assumed that Mitchie was taking Tess's side, like almost calling Caitlin an idiot for not understanding the really stupid phrase.
For major loser? That is so last year. I mean, everyone knows that.
Oh, well, I guess not everyone.
So this is the part in the movie where Mitchie is supposed to be likable now, but she still annoys me. Like, I guess they're supposed to be friends now, even though Mitchie has been the most awful friend from start to finish. In fact, where's Sierra? We have not heard one mention about Sierra. They're like blowing up balloons and stuff, having a good old time, and Caitlin casually brings up the fact that her and Tess used to be besties. She said that when Tess found out that she had mad music producer skills, and all of a sudden Tess started being mean to her. I also don't really believe that Tess is popular. I mean, even in this movie, because no one seems to worship her or even like her. Everybody just seems to kind of tolerate her, and she's awful to everybody. I mean, usually when you're watching a movie like this, the mean girl is worshipped and everybody wants to be their best friend. It seems like Mitchie's the only one who wants to be BFFs with Tess. And then next we have Shane calling his bandmates like his brothers, but whatever. Connect 3. Kevin is talking about birdhouses for some reason.
I didn't want anything. Well, I wanted a birdhouse. And
So
why'd you
what?
need a birdhouse for? Because I wanted to see more birds in my...
Shane talks about how he decided it's okay for the winner of Final Jam to do a recording sesh with him. And I don't think I mentioned it before, but Final Jam is gonna be like the final performance of the camp, if you can guess by the name. And the winner is supposed to record with Shane and become this big star. So then Shane tells the drummer dude from earlier that drums on everything that he's looking for the girl with the voice, which is extremely vague. And then he whispers it like it's some kind of secret, but then the secret spreads across campus. They start making it a big thing. A bunch of girls start singing obnoxiously in front of Shane as if they are the girl with the voice, which is confusing to me because 5 minutes ago, seemingly everybody in this camp was talented, but I guess that's not the case anymore.
So much flow, she'll make the dreams you have become real.
Mitchie ends up hearing about this, but she's like, oh, he's never heard me sing anyways, so it couldn't be me. Shane is laying next to some boats, writing a song about listening to the radio, and Mitchie walks up, asking what he's doing. They get in a boat and start paddling in circles for some reason. Not really sure why. They never explain why.
That's right. What? You don't like going in circles?
So, have you found your special...
So Shane is talking about how he can never know if someone's just using him for his fame, you know, because he's like all misunderstood and stuff. But Shane throws a curveball. He's like, oh, you must know exactly what I mean because your mom is the president of Hot Tunes TV in China. She totally could have told him the truth at this point, but no. Mitchie doubles down. She's like, oh yeah, totally. But then Tess sees Mitchie and Shane in the boat together and she's super jealous. But all this had to come crashing down at some point, you guys. Tess ends up seeing Caitlin and Mitchie with Mitchie's mom. And, you know, she finds out the shocking truth that Mitchie's mom is a successful business owner. God forbid. Ugh, so embarrassing. I mean, they couldn't have made her work at like Safeway or something. Now we're at the beach jam. So many jams. Connect 4, 3, connect Connect 3. They sing a catchy tune. It's the radio song that Shane was singing earlier. I actually really love this song. It's super catchy. It's a total bop. I think I'm gonna download it on my Spotify, just add it to my Spotify, whatever. Oh, the hair flips. Nick does a little hippity hop. The band stops playing. Tess immediately is like, hey, Mitchie, tell us about your mom again. Mitchie is getting pressured to talk more and more about her mom. She's feeling guilty, and Tess is really pushing for her to spill the beans about the truth. But anyways, Mitchie eventually says it's true. Her mom works in the kitchen. She was only able to get there because she got discounted tickets. How shameful. And during this part, Tess was really beating a dead horse with this. She just kept aggressively pushing and pushing about Mitchie being poor and how she was lying. And she even said that she had dishes to do or something. And you would think that Shane, listening to this, he would have some critical thinking skills to be like, hey, you know, maybe she was insecure. Maybe she just wanted to fit in with all the other rich kids that didn't need to get discounted tickets here. Right? No. Shane overreacted more than anybody else there. He completely blew up on Mitchie.
All summer.
Yes, but
You know, I'm so used to people pretending around me.
I was not pretending.
And I really thought you were different.
So now, not only is Mitchie, who I'm not a big fan of, got humiliated by Tess in front of all the campers, now she's being grilled by a extremely famous pop star that everybody there looks up to, and Shane just makes the entire thing about him. Everyone else is like, wow, I can't believe that just happened. Could you imagine seeing that? I would just go on with my day. And then later that day, Tess is kind of trying to sneak over to where Shane is so she can, you know, slip into that whole situation, when he overhears that Shane is looking for, you know, the girl with the voice. He starts singing the song that Mitchie sings, and that he can't get it out of his head. He like just wants to focus on finding the girl and his music.
I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be now. Gonna let the light.
So then Tess sneaks into Mitchie's cabin and she finds her songbook. And I know what you guys are thinking, right? Same thing I was thinking, that Tess is going to steal the song that Mitchie wrote, make it seem like she wrote it so that Shane thinks she's the, you know, the girl. But you'd be wrong, because she steals the songbook, or she looks at it. I don't know if she steals it or whatever. And then we just never see anything with this again. They don't do anything with this. It's like they started writing an engaging conflict and then just threw it out last minute. During hip hop class, Mitchie walks in and everybody's staring at her. She just sits in the corner and no one goes to sit next to her. Okay, and Shane was so immature for this. So he walks in, he says hello to everybody. He looks all smiley and he's like, okay, I'm gonna give you guys some advice about Final Jam. And then he looks directly at Mitchie and he's like, makes it completely obvious he's talking to her, directly at her, and just grills her in front of everyone again.
So here's some advice. It's not all about your image. None of it means anything unless people see who you really are.
Hey everyone, how's everyone doing? I'm gonna give you guys some advice for Final Jam. You're a lying asshole, you're worthless, go wash some dishes. Mom talks to Mitchie and she asks her why she's ashamed to be her daughter, and Mitchie's like, I just didn't want to be invisible for once. I would be so offended. I need to understand why Mitchie's mom didn't completely rip her a new one. But her mom is like, it's okay, honey, you're so talented, you're special. It's all about you. You're exactly where you're supposed to be.
What do you mean? You have plenty of friends at home.
I have one.
Again, this is why it's so hard for me to like Mitchie. She's so ungrateful. She's over here complaining about having only one friend. Like, don't do Sierra dirty like that, girl, please. And I bet you don't even care that she speaks Mandarin fluently. We're at lunch and now she wants to sit with the hip hop kids. Now she does. Tess walks over, she decides to be really rude. She starts making mean comments about her mom's chicken. And Mitchie gets up, she completely blows up on Tess, but in doing so, she kind of makes the whole thing about her. She even calls herself a good person. You really told her, Mitchie. Tess tells Mitchie that she's out of the group for Final Jam, but don't worry, Caitlin's got her back with her mad music producer skills. We get this montage of all the teens getting ready for Final Jam, and the drummer guy is still drumming. on random things. He doesn't look like he's doing any kind of contributing whatsoever. Peggy continues to make faces behind Tess's back anytime she says anything snarky. She's just so bossy. Today's the day. It's Final Jam. Everyone's super excited. Mitchie and Caitlin are in the kitchen making breakfast for all the teens when Tess storms in and she accuses them of stealing her mom's Grammy bracelet. Uncle Camp Director's there and he's like, all right, well, you know, I gotta do this. I gotta check your cabin. We'll just make sure it's not there and then we'll move on. And of course, I think you all can guess what happens. He ends up finding the bracelet and in Mitchie's belongings. Tess is immediately like, ha, gotcha. And it's super obvious what happened, right? And Mitchie obviously denies the whole thing. She's like, I did not steal it. Tess even abruptly admits that she planted it in the cabin. And then she's interrupted by Uncle Camp Director and he's like, shh, Tess, I got this, okay?
Like what? I snuck into the kitchen and...
Tess, I got this. All right?
Uncle Camp Director's like, look, you know, we got rules. My hands are tied. You guys cannot perform or participate in any activities until after Final Jam is done with. Caitlin and Mitchie are super bummed. They're watching everybody have a good old time getting ready for Final Jam while they obviously can't participate. We get more extremely awkward dialogue from the Jonas Brothers.
See you too, man. I've missed you. Group hug. Much better.
Ew. During this convo of Mitchie and Caitlin, you know, venting about getting in trouble and whatnot, Mitchie keeps switching sides during this conversation. It drove me and my husband nuts when we were watching this. It's really annoying. Mitchie reiterates that they're not allowed to participate in anything until after Final Jam is done. And then Mitchie gives a big old smile, because I guess she's got a plan up her sleeve. I wonder what's gonna happen, you guys. Is she gonna sing? This is real, this is me. All right, so we finally made it to Final Jam. Everyone's super pumped. They got their glow sticks. I mean, every single person in the audience has a glow stick for some reason. Tess and the girls are practicing their number, you know, like the same part that they've been practicing this whole time, over and over again. And I guess Peggy bumps into Tess or something. Tess immediately blows up. She gets super rude about it like she always does. And Peggy's just had it. She flips out. She's like, you're always being rude. You're bossy. I've had it. I'm out of the group. Yeah, tell her, Peggy. Ella ends up getting fed up too and leaving Tess all alone. Wonder what she's gonna do.
BTW, your lip gloss is so not glossy anymore.
Uncle Camp Director gets up on the stage and he reminds everyone that the winner of Final Jam is going to have a chance to record with his nephew, Shane Gray. And I just don't know what that means. They always say a chance. Does that mean that they might not record with Shane? I am still just really surprised that every single person has a glow stick. The first performance is the token Disney hip hop number, and Ella just kind of walks on stage. And remind you, 5 minutes ago, she was supposed to be in Tess's performance, but now she has this lead role in a different performance. She knows all the lyrics. She even has a lead part in the song. She knows all the choreography. So I don't know. Was she always supposed to be in this number? I can't really tell. Next, we have Tess, who notices her mom in the audience, TJ Tyler. I thought she was gonna be by herself since her backup singers left her, but then I remembered, oh, she always has these random backup dancers show up with extremely intricate choreography. But oh no, mom's BlackBerry just starts ringing in the middle of the performance. She couldn't even put it on silent. So mom gets up, she answers her phone, Tess reacts, and it ruins the whole performance to the point where she runs off the stage. This is the most realistic crying I've ever seen in any movie ever by anyone. So then after 2 whole performances, Uncle Camp Director comes out and he's about to wrap up the show and announce the winner. 2 performances, guys. Like, there wasn't even a montage of other people doing stuff. There was a last minute addition to the performances there of Margaret Dupree. And if you're wondering who that is, that ends up being Peggy. And I still don't know if that's her real name or if that's her stage name. But Peggy plays this slow dancing song on the guitar. She does really, really good singing. She's a beautiful singer. And then they just cut these flashbacks of Peggy making awful faces to Tess every time she says something dumb. So Peggy finishes, she gets off the stage, and Tess walks up to her. She's like, that was really good. I did not know you were that good. And when someone's that good, someone should tell them. Peggy just kind of brushes her off. She's like, I don't got time for that. So now Uncle Camp Director says that the final jam is over. It's officially over, and he's about to announce the winner after 3 performances. So the judges, AKA the Jonas Brothers, start making their decision when Mitchie and Caitlin ask Uncle Camp Director if they can perform now that final jam is technically over. Then he says something along the lines of, oh, I was hoping you guys would catch on. And now I'm wondering, like, did he actually think that they stole the bracelet? I'm confused. So Mitchie performs her song. Of course, Demi Lovato does amazingly. She's doing the spider legs. Shane is floored. He's like, oh, that's the girl with the voice. Then Shane jumps in and he starts singing the song that he wrote from earlier. And not only does it fit perfectly into the song, but it also fits perfectly in the arrangement that Caitlin put together. What a coincidence that is. Mom and Dad are in the audience and Sierra is nowhere to be found. Why? I just need to know what happened to Sierra. Maybe she's the one in China. So the camp director announces the winner. It ends up being Peggy. It was a real tough competition with 3 whole acts. Mitchie and Caitlin are all excited about the performance they did. When Tess just kind of slips into their conversation, she tells them that they did a good job, and then she also admits that she told the director that she stole the bracelet, but doesn't apologize for it. She just walks away. It was kind of awkward.
Honey, I'm sorry you didn't win.
But I did. I won the best summer of my life.
Yeah, Mitchie, that's what losers say. Whatever I can't do it. In the finale, they all sing this camp rock song. Everyone's having a good time. Mitchie and Shane are the lead in this number. I know it's a tween movie, but this kind of confused me still because why would Mitchie be leading that song? Shane and Mitchie are kind of looking at each other romantically. I'm really glad that they didn't kiss at all in this movie because that would have been really weird considering how young Demi Lovato is. But yeah, that was it. That was the movie. So super fun. All right, guys, that was Camp Rock. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.